they need to be able to prove they can make it back again. So you can't just go hot one night, cold the next, and just be like, yeah, we'll bounce back the next day.
Yeah, Judge
Home
needs
runs,
it.
RBIs. There's pretty much the only thing Ral
Yeah,
has on Judge. I believe Aaron Judge would have the same, if not 2 or 3 more home runs than Cal has.
all right, welcome back to episode 2 of Sports Squawk. I'm Noah Holmgren,
I'm Leo Caneto.
I'm Nathan Shearer.
I'm Daniel Craig.
and we are here to talk about MLB, the playoff race, MVP races, past couple games, and yeah, so all of us here are Yankee fans, unfortunately. It's been a very up and down season. We're coming off a 10-9 win against Minnesota. We got crushed the day before.
We fell
And-
apart last game. Still won, but it just
Mhm.
fell apart. It's like, oh, 10-0, perfect. And then look at my phone and it's 10-9, and I'm like, are we about to lose this?
The bullpen has definitely been a struggle this season, and looking towards the playoffs with the Yankees, almost any firm playoff spot, you have to wonder how deep they'll be able to go with a bullpen that they can't rely on.
Definitely. I mean, Devin Williams, at least yesterday, had a 1-2-3 inning. The day before, I think he gave up a run because obviously
It's Devin
he's
Williams.
he's one. What?
I said it's Devin
It's
Williams.
Devin
Of
Williams
course he's gonna
naturally.
give it a run.
Yeah. So like he's really unreliable. I have really liked Bednar since he's been in the closer role. Him and Weaver. I pretty much the only two I trust in the bullpen. Fernando Cruz has not had it recently. Leiter is terrible. There's just a lot of question marks in the bullpen, and I mean it feels like offensively even like we're sometimes the best offense in the league, and the next day we can't get a single hit. It's just so hot and cold.
I mean that's just the Yankees in general. I mean look at the series against Boston. They dominated the first 2 games, and then they took on a potential Cy Young Award winner in Garrett Crochet, and they only got 1 hit. Like you, as an offense that's trying to make a statement and prove that their appearance in the World Series last year wasn't a joke, they need to be able to prove they can make it back again.
Yeah, and the couple games that we had before this Minnesota series, we played. It was Houston, Boston, Detroit, and Toronto, which are pretty much we're bound to face at least one. Like pretty much if we're gonna want to make a run playoffs, 2 maybe 3 of those teams, and we came out of it with a 7-5 record, which is respectable. But I feel like if we wanted to prove that we belong there, we could have and should have done better.
Yeah, I mean a 7-5 record. I don't know what you guys think. Isn't bad, but
It's not like the worst definitely not the worst we've seen. I feel like there was a chunk like after the All-Star break where it was just kind of like, oh my God, are we like serious right now? So like I think coming out 7-5, I mean I think I've just kind of been pessimistic about the Yankees lately. So I feel like that was like an okay result, but I definitely think to prove like if we're gonna be like in the World Series, if that wasn't a hoax last year, that like we've got to come out of something like that a little bit better than 7-5. It's almost even.
well, I mean, you also have to remember, though, playoffs aren't 12 games. You get 7, 5, 3 games to prove you're the better team. So you can't just go hot one night, cold the next, and just be like, yeah, we'll bounce back the next day.
Yeah, I agree. And
Especially with the Tigers, our last series with the Tigers just was not good.
yeah,
If you play like that in the playoffs, that's a no.
So talking about the playoffs, if the season ended right now, we'd play Houston. In Yankee Stadium, luckily, but we'd play Houston, which brings back some traumatic memories from the past couple of years. But there is also a chance we play Boston, which some other tough memories there. But again, hopefully we hold on to the first wildcard spot, so we'd be the home team. But who would you guys rather play in the first round in a 3-game wildcard series? Would you rather play against Boston or Houston?
I would say, actually, so there's positive and negatives for both. So you have Alvarez in Houston, and then he's the only one I'm concerned about because he's, besides, like, I don't know how Altuve's been hitting lately, but you've had...
Hasn't been that great.
No, you hadn't heard from him.
Yeah.
So it's like Alvarez is the only one who's really been hitting the ball well. And then for Boston, you got Crochet. Yeah,
Mhm.
he's in Boston, and then you also got Chapman.
Oh God.
And what was it, 50 innings without a hit or something like that? 50 games, 50 innings, something like
Mhm.
that?
About 50 innings, yeah.
Yeah.
Leaves the Yankees and he starts looking like prime Chapman again, of course.
That's happened with every single player who has ever left the Yankees.
Oh, I know.
They turn into Barry Bonds.
So I'm just scared that it's going to happen where they'll put Chapman on the mound, and it's
Mhm.
going to be the same thing as not this past series with the Red Sox, but the one before that, where
Yeah.
they put Chapman in and just,
Yeah.
we got annihilated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, personally, I don't really want to see either team. Houston has a good rotation with Framber Valdez being their ace. He shut down the Yankees the last time we played them. And I mean, yes, the Yankees do have to worry about Jordan Alvarez, but right now he's also injured. He sprained his ankle and potentially looking at a more significant injury. But Houston in general, they're no joke when it comes to the playoffs. They have a ton of experience. So I mean, it really just comes down to which team do you think the Yankees can perform against?
I want Boston for the drama.
Oof.
I would say Boston. If I had to pick between Houston and Boston, I would say Boston. Because I feel like we just have a slight edge over them.
Also, Stanton's best stadium is Fenway. Outside of I can't remember what the stats are, but he's out of any stadium in the MLB, Fenway is where he typically lights up the most, has the most home runs, has most hits there. So, I think if we get Stanton in Fenway, it's lights out. And we all know what playoff Stanton can do. We're hoping to get him back again.
That was insane what he did last year, and even when he came back in the middle of this year, like I truly believe if he didn't miss half the season with the injury, if he played the entire season like this, he'd be getting MVP votes.
Oh, 100%. I think he's had since coming back from injury, he's been really stellar, and I feel like it's looked like we have playoff Stanton back, playoff Stanton during the regular season, which has been really nice because, that's what we got Stanton for.
It's just the main. It's just the main question is, are we going to see what version of playoff Judge are we going to see?
Mm-hmm.
That's been the question mark since he's been in the league. Has not been able to perform. I think he has something along the lines of a 200 average, five or six total home runs in his career in the playoffs. It's just we know what he can do in the regular season, but what can he do when it counts? Is how he's going to be remembered as a Yankee, because that's the history of the Yankees. It's World Series or bust, and having only won one pennant. No World Series championships. It's starting to feel like the pressure's starting to mount on him to step up in the playoffs.
Speaking of Judge, let's talk about the awards. MVP. Kyle Riley, Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge, no question in my mind.
I think Aaron Judge.
I think you have an argument for Raleigh, but I also believe Judge does have it just overall stats. But at the same time, the season that Cal Raleigh is having right now is something that we've never seen from a catcher or switch hitter before. So
I think, isn't he on pace for 57 home runs or something like that?
Something like that. I think he just hit 53 yesterday.
he broke Mandel's record yesterday.
Yeah, which is just unbelievable.
Mhm.
And I mean, I don't think there's a world where he beats Judge's record of 62.
Mhm.
I don't see that happening. But it's been an incredibly special season for him as a catcher, as a switch hitter, as Nate said. But I think just hitting home runs and being a good power hitter and he's not the best defensive catcher in the league. He's a very good defensive catcher, which is the hardest position to do on the field. But when you take into account Judge has a higher batting average, higher on base percentage, higher OPS, twice as high OPS plus. Just every single other stat outside of essentially home runs, Judge
Home
leads
runs,
it.
RBIs, are pretty much the only thing Riley
Yeah.
has on Judge. And as I remember Nate and I think it was you, we were looking at walks between Kyle
Yep.
and Judge. If you compare the two of them, I think Judge has at least 20 to 25 or even 30 more walks.
Yeah.
At least that I remember. I could be completely wrong.
Mhm.
More walks than Cal has, and that's including intentional walks from managers and teams.
Yeah, I remember seeing. I think it was just after the All-Star break, so early July, that Aaron Judge broke the Yankees record for intentional walks in a season,
Mhm.
and that was like
Halfway.
just after the halfway point of the
Yeah.
season. Like teams are scared to pitch the ball to him.
I mean, there was a game at like the beginning of the season where I think he got intentionally walked like twice in a row,
Yeah,
and
I
it was
remember
just
that.
like,
Mhm.
just like, just let him hit, man.
Because my thing is like, if you give Aaron Judge the same amount of walks that Cal has had, or like if you give him the hits that Cal has had in terms of like being able to hit a pitch,
Mhm.
I believe Aaron Judge would have the same, if not 2 or 3 more home runs than Cal has.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my personal opinion about this situation.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's also just a better overall hitter than Rowley. Like he spreads the ball all over the field. He hits for contact and for power. Like he has, like I think he's second or third in the AL in batting average. Even.
He's actually number 1 in the AL currently for batting average.
Over Jacob Wilson.
Yeah, I was actually looking at that today. He's like 1 or 2 points higher.
Oh my God. Wait, so oh no, Rowley obviously has more homers. I was just thinking like he could be in the running for Triple Crown, having the highest average home runs and RBIs in the league. But Rowley has him on home runs and RBI, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on from the Yankees, what about like the National League playoff race and division races? Phillies clinched a playoff spot and their division clinched a division yesterday, playoff spot a couple days ago. So what do you think? Who's gonna fill up the rest of the bracket in the National League?
I mean, I'd personally love to see the Cubs back. I mean, they have a young core talent in PCA and Ian Happ, and just the team they have in general. It's a special team. They've shown a lot of success. I'm interested to see what PCA and the rest of the team can do when it matters the most, when the lights shine the brightest.
Yeah, I like that. Like PCA has been very special this year. At one point, he was the favorite to be the NL MVP, which is kind of crazy considering he was just thrown in as a trade piece from the Mets for the Javier Baez trade. But like the Mets got 5 or 6 months of Javier Baez, and the Chicago Cubs got their entire future essentially. Just a crazy trade to look back on. What about you guys? What do you think about the National League?
I would also have to go with the Cubs. I feel like that is. I want to see them back in the playoff form that they had when they had Rizzo, because that was something special just to watch in itself. And I feel like with the Cubs, I don't know the history, like how many championships or anything that they've had, but I feel like you don't see them that often.
Yeah.
So I want to see them at least try to make it to the NLCS or hopefully the NLDS if they can win through the wild card. I really want to see them make a push, because it's just I feel like it's an iconic team in itself in the MLB that you don't really hear a lot of or see that much explosiveness out of lately.
Yeah, I feel like the Cubs as well. I feel like a lot of people root for the Cubs. I feel like it's a hard team to root against, just considering their history, especially when they did make their their World Series run back when they did that. But yeah, it would just be nice to see them in the playoffs again, and I like in good playoff form. They seem like a great team this year. So.
And on the West Coast for the NL West, there's still a big division race going on. The Dodgers are leading the Padres right now, but the Diamondbacks are also close behind to the Padres. So and I'm pretty sure they're playing each other at the end of the season, which will essentially determine who wins that division. So who do you see pulling that out between the Dodgers and the Padres?
I don't know. I feel like the Dodgers might pull it out. I just feel like you get to the end of this year and the Dodgers kind of start pulling ahead a lot. I think it'll just kind of depend on how they are going into that series and how the other team is. I think momentum is a really big thing at the end of the season. So if they have the momentum going into that series, I think they'll probably end up with it. But if they don't have a ton of momentum, I definitely think the Diamondbacks could come out and do well.
All right. I'm taking the cop-out answer of the Dodgers just because the Dodgers have the much bigger talent as well.
It was the Diamondbacks or Padres?
The Dodgers and Padres are the top two,
Okay.
with the Diamondbacks trailing a bit of a ways behind the Padres, but I think still in.
I'm going to go with the underdog, and I want the Diamondbacks to go deep again.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a cop-out, but I think the Dodgers just have too much talent on the roster. Ohtani, Freeman, Betts, Muncy, it's just a bit absurd. Will Smith even just crazy talent up and down the lineup. We saw firsthand in the World Series last year. So, quickly before we wrap up, who would you say your World Series prediction?
I'm gonna go repeat. I'm gonna say Yankees Dodgers again. I think we're gonna be surprised.
Nate?
I see Dodgers and Tigers.
Tigers. Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna go Phillies and Tigers.
Phillies and Tigers. Okay. I'm gonna say Toronto against LA.
It's a classic.
And with that distraction, this has been episode 2 of Sports Squawk. I've been Noah Holmgren.
I'm Leo Cadento.
I'm Nathan Shearer.
I'm Daniel Craig.
Thank you for tuning in. See you next time.